such a thick wire going at such a high speed, chops all of the adults in half. And there's a little girl that was dancing with the captain of the ship, and he like was trying to like protect her. So when she finally like breaks free of him and stuff like that, he falls, and then she runs, and everybody they're just dead, blood and body parts everywhere. It's beautiful. But in my Hi, hello.
Hello.
Welcome back. Or welcome if you're new.
Mm-hmm.
If you are used to us, you may have noticed that there has been some changes.
Just a little.
Most notably that we changed our name from I'm Just Here to the Afterlife Hotline.
Heck yeah.
I think the best way to describe that is we're just finding our place, kind of.
Yeah. Where, like, I'm Just Here is always going to have a place in our heart just because it's a saying that we've always had for the last however many years we've been friends. But
God knows it's ancient.
And it's always been, I don't know, it's been a saying for us, and it's one that we hold near and dear, and thought that it'd be a good podcast name. And it was to start off with. But as we were like slowly niching down to what we really enjoy talking about, we figured a rebrand was due, and figured we'd go ahead and do it now.
Well, and I think the great thing too is that, like, yeah, I'm Just Here isn't the name anymore, but it's our starting point.
Yeah,
because we did the damn thing.
Yeah, we did do the damn thing.
And so I'm just here.
Somewhere too. So.
I'm Just Here is always. I mean, we literally are just here.
Yeah,
but
still just here.
A spookier name, and I'm so excited about it.
Me too. I'm so excited. Heck yeah. We got lots of cool things in store too. So anyway,
with that being said, and the new introductions, episode 9 comes back with haunted locations in Arkansas.
Yeah.
So Arkansas is our home state. And we are familiar with some of these places, but some of these places we researched, and now obviously we're going to have to go to.
Oh, yeah.
Especially one of the ones that I'm going to talk about because it's severely local. But otherwise, I guess we could just dive right in.
Yeah.
So the first place I'm going to talk about isn't necessarily haunted per se. However, it is quoted to be the only authentic ghost town in America.
Oh, okay.
So this is Calico Rock. Alternating streaks of color in blue, black, gray, red, and orange, like a calico cloth, are the markings on the bluff looming over the White River in an area north central Arkansas known as Calico Rock. Located directly on the White River in Izard County, Calico Rock developed as a steamboat landing in the early 1800s. It became a boom town in 1902 when the railroad tracks were laid down. It was the largest town in Izard County through the 1960s. However, neighboring towns grew faster, leaving this once important river port with a population of 1,500 today.
Calico. Oh, so there's still people that live there.
So there's still people that live in Calico Rock. However, there's a portion of Calico Rock that is completely abandoned.
Ooh.
So like, I think it's the east side of Calico Rock, completely abandoned.
Ooh.
With the structures still there.
I have to look this up as you're talking about it.
So, and it's privately owned. However, the owner allows you to go. You just have to respect, like, no trespassing signs. Don't go in anything that's going to get you hurt, but you can still go to Calico Rock. I really want to go.
It looks like an old westerny town almost.
Exactly. They have a blacksmith, a barber.
Ooh. It's beautiful.
Calico Rock Museum houses collections and displays and exhibits beginning with the American Indian culture to about 1967 that are historically and culturally significant to this town and the area. It's located in historic Bank of Calico Rock building. The museum is not only something to preserve the past, but it also features handmade works of the area's artists. About 28 artists sell their items there, starting from pottery and going all the way to leather and organic home products, woodworking, jewelry, and more.
I love a little touristy town.
So now that that's a little blip about Calico Rock, let's go into the preservation.
Okay.
Just steps away from this historic but thriving town center is another lifetime of the town preserved. Calico Rock's ghost town includes a pool, a tavern, a barber shop, theater, cafe, lumberyard, telephone exchange, cotton gin, funeral parlor, and an electronic company. Or an
Tavern
electric.
as in like a movie tavern, or like a little, I would assume a movie tavern, or like a bar.
Like a bar. Because they have a theater.
Oh my gosh. I love when they call them taverns.
The tour, because it's a self-guided tour, by the way, contains more than 20 different buildings and other structures, dilapidated yet holding a significant presence in the oldest part of town. All but 2 of these buildings can be seen from the street, and markers tell the history of each. You can drive it, but it's best to be seen on foot.
Okay.
According to the historical marker, in the 1890s, shanty taverns lined both banks of the lower Calico Creek. If you ever wondered about the words pepper sauce, bartenders during that time served something called pepper sauce, a local name for the home brew type drink they were served to visitors who stopped at the steamboat landing from the nearby White River, otherwise known as moonshine.
Pepper sauce. I'm going to start calling it that from now on.
Hey, you want
I
a shot
don't
of
drink
pepper sauce?
moonshine, but however, that seems like a very fitting name for moonshine.
Many of the people who came through were unruly characters who liked to fight with knives and guns. The area became known as Pepper Sauce Alley, and because of its reputation, many of the nicer folks would not visit. When the Missouri Pacific Railroad started laying tracks below the Calico Bluff in 1902, many of these people were ran off. Calico Rock is basically a town within a town, but nobody lives in East Calico anymore. It's privately owned and now serves as the only authentic ghost town within city limits. Oh. So basically what happened is when they started to lay down the railroad, all of the criminals or less desirable people who would come in were ran out.
Oh.
And so because none of the nicer, richer people would go there, when the people who resided in Pepper Sauce Alley left, it was basically just gone.
Yeah.
Nobody lived there anymore. So
That
people
makes
still
sense.
live in Calico, just not on Pepper Sauce Alley.
Okay.
And I can pop up some pictures of the buildings and stuff because
Yes.
it would be prime spot for photos.
Okay, so were you talking about like the strip of like the old shops and stuff? Because I was looking that up whenever you're talking about it. Even the just like the land around it is really pretty. It's given Buffalo River almost.
Oh yeah,
it's so pretty.
Yeah,
I love it.
And so I definitely want to go.
It's
one
only
day.
2 hours away. So
when we did Gizwiz, one of the tasks actually had a thing for people to go to Calico Rock, but at the time we didn't want to drive the distance.
Oh, and now
we being you,
us-
because you were the driver.
Yeah, and us. 2 hours. That was a long time at that point.
Yeah, at that point, yeah. Because I mean, we didn't really venture outside of our bubble, and she was the only one who did drive because I didn't have my license yet. So,
But me now, I'd be like, yes, let's do it. Let's
I mean,
go. I mean, that's about the same time that we drive for Pettigene, right?
Yeah.
Pettigene's about an hour 45.
Crystal digging, I think, is an hour and 30, but
Little
yeah,
over an hour.
Pettigene is
Yeah.
almost 2 hours. So it's definitely doable, and I definitely would love to do it. Take some photographs and, go out there and spend a day.
Heck yeah.
Especially because of the amount of culture that they have preserved there. Like, I would love to be able to see American and Indian culture together, because I feel like a lot of the times, like, we don't get to see Native American stuff.
No. There's also Toltec Mounds in Arkansas.
I've
too.
never been.
I haven't been either. That was one of the places that I was looking up as well. Obviously not covering that, but that's I think ancient Indian burial grounds, I believe is what it is, and I feel like that'd be pretty cool
gotta
to
go.
check out. So we're gonna have to start a list of places to start going and checking out.
We're gonna be the Sam and Colby of Arkansas.
I mean,
Hey, what's up, you guys?
here we are today checking out Calico Rock.
Yeah, I mean, these are
I like your little hat, dude.
yeah. So this is
Beautiful.
Quit You Witchin'. This is the Punchkin.
She won this for a giveaway on Instagram.
Yeah.
What's the brand? Punchkins?
Punchkins? Yeah, they did a 10K giveaway, and I was one of the 10 winners, and so they had you pick.
It matches your hair.
I got.
It matches your outfit.
Oh yeah,
Green
it
and
does.
purple.
It was meant to be. Punchkins, I'm coming for you.
I love
I want more.
He's just gonna end up having like them sitting all throughout the shelves.
They have the cutest. I want the books too.
The little crystal ball was cute as well.
It was.
What was the black and red book that you were wanting?
I like my thrillers dark and twisted. Yeah, I eventually want to get all of them, and they do keychains as well.
Oh, do they?
Punchkin, sponsor us,
please. All right, so this one's going to be kind of a shorter one. This is about the Clayton House in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The Clayton House is in downtown Fort Smith, and it dates back centuries. It was first built in 1852 and once acted as a hospital for soldiers during the Civil War. The home's most notable owner, William Clayton, was an attorney appointed to the Western District by President Ulysses S. Grant in 1874. So, as of today, haunting rumors surround the house. There is one bedroom on the second floor that many say gives them like a creepy, eerie feeling. I would also, but let me see. I don't know if this is up for people to do paranormal investigations. I need to do more research on it because I feel like if it is, this would be because Fort Smith
is not that far.
No, because I feel like Steven just went there for their job. It was like 2 or 3 hours away or something like that. We could always find like an Airbnb and go stay there and go check it out. So there is one bedroom on the second floor that many say give them a creepy feeling. They have also been reports of what sounds like boots stomping, doors slamming, and music coming from other areas in the house, which would make sense because it housed soldiers. So a former director said she even saw the ghost of a woman in Mr. Clayton's study. She said, "I saw an apparition of a woman in Mr. Clayton's study one day. She was dressed in a brown skirt and linen shirt, had gray hair which was piled in a bun on top of her head. Her name was Martha Seiler." So the lady who was saying that was Martha Seiler. Visitors have also reported that they felt like they were being touched when no one else was around, and one woman even had her hair tugged. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. So several paranormal investigators have managed to get some recordings of voices in the background of the home. With such a vibrant history at the Clayton house, it's clear that there are many rumors to go around. There was also a photo that I have that will pop up, and I was going to show you as well. This person, the Reddit user is Jedi Kevin Flynn.
Yeah, Jedi.
I know. He said, "We were on a self-guided tour. My family was on the other half of the second floor, and I was exploring this room and took a picture of the fireplace since he thought it looked cool. No one else in the room with me, and other visitors were downstairs. Didn't realize what all was in the picture until we got back home, and I started looking through the photo album." And I'm going to show you, but it is now a museum. Yeah, maybe that's why, because I really didn't find anything other than the fact that it was just used as like a hospital, boarding house. I feel like for Civil War soldiers.
I feel like that's a running theme in a lot of Arkansas's history.
Just like little, not halfway houses, but like little, I mean, I guess kind of like a halfway point for them. But yeah, I don't really think there was much other history for this house other than the fact of like, obviously the soldiers and stuff like that were taken care of there.
You know what's frustrating? Why can I sit crisscross in our work chairs, but for some reason I cannot compute how to sit crisscross in these, and they're the same damn chair?
I don't know. You can try.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's too much movement.
I can give more haunting stories of the Clayton house since that was just a little blip of information for the house. So there has been sightings of a lady in the study. And it says one of the most compelling ghostly encounters involves the apparition of a woman seen in Mr. Clayton's study, which I'm assuming is the one that this person saw in their photo. Former Clayton House director Martha Seiler. So she described the apparition as a solid and lifelike, but not translucent image often associated with ghostly sightings. She initially believed the woman was a visitor until she vanished without a trace. It left Seiler both fascinated and unsettled, as she had spent years working in the house without experiencing anything so vivid. Other visitors have reported fleeting glimpses of similar figures, often in or near the study, suggesting the spirit remains attached to that particular house. That also, like, I don't know why I always thought that if ghosts appear that they're just going to be like an apparition, like misty-like. But if you see one and it just looks like a straight up human, like imagine how many ghosts we've actually seen and never really knew that we've seen.
Because a lot of people talk about how they're not solid, but they're not see-through.
Yeah. I've always wanted to see one, but be like, oh, that's a ghost.
And not, oh, it's a ghost.
Because, like, I could have already seen one and I just won't even know. Unless it's where it's not supposed to be, then.
Well, and especially because the brain is probably just going to try to rationalize it.
I feel like, yeah, because our brains do that anyway. They try to make it into something that we'll understand. So there's also been unexplained sounds in the house. Many visitors have reported hearing unexplained noises throughout the house, particularly in the late afternoons and evenings. The sounds of heavy foot stomps, stomping around the hallways, doors slamming shut without cause, and faint strains of music drifting from empty rooms are common occurrences. Staff members conducting tours have often paused, believing someone had entered a room behind them only to find it empty. One particularly chilling account involved a group tour when all the participants heard the distinct sound of piano music coming from the parlor, a room devoid of any working instruments. These auditory anomalies contribute to the house's eerie ambience, leaving many visitors questioning what they truly experienced. Okay. There's a ghostly cat!
We have to go.
Ah! Oh my gosh! Oh, I really should have done my research a little bit better on this one. So, there's only a few left. Okay. So, physical encounters at the Clayton house have been reported by both staff and visitors. One notable incident involved a woman whose hair was gently tugged as she stood near the grand staircase. Turning around, she found no one close enough to have touched her. Others have described feeling a light brush against their arm or shoulder as if someone unseen was trying to gain their attention. There's also been photographic evidence, which I can try to find, and we can pop into the video as well. In 2007 or 2008, a carpenter working on renovations at the Clayton house captured something truly unsettling. While documenting his process, he snapped a photo that appeared to show the figure of a woman standing in one of the rooms. The image, while grainy, clearly outlines a female form dressed in period clothing. The carpenter, initially skeptical of the house's haunted reputation, was shaken by the discovery. He shared the photo with staff, who confirmed that no one fitting that description had been in the house during the time the photo was taken. This tangible evidence further cemented the Clayton's house reputation as a place where the past refuses to remain silent. As they should.
Mm-hmm.
There's been lots of EVPs, mysterious voices, supposedly a tall, angry man. I would not want to encounter him.
No.
Nope. And a ghostly cat. So among the more lighthearted paranormal reports in this is the presence of a ghostly cat. Oh, that makes me so, like, I want to go see this house now. I want to meet the ghost cat. Visitors have reported seeing a small shadowy figure darting across the floors or feeling the sensation of a cat brushing against their legs.
Tell
only
your
to
ghost
find
cat
nothing
I
there.
said pss, 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 pss.
Literally walk in. Pss, 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 pss. Where are you? I came here for you and only you.
Oh my god. Oh, speaking of ghosts. Oh, no, he stopped. He was like trying to pull the mic down to him.
He's like, dang it, she caught me. I was just trying to talk to my homies, Mom. So the spectral feline has become something of a beloved figure among those familiar with the house's hauntings. While no historical records confirm the Clayton family owned a cat, the repeated sightings suggest that, if nothing else, the house has attracted more than just human spirits.
Oh, I love that.
I like ending that on that. A ghost cat. I want a ghost kitty. Give me a ghost cat.
So my next one is going to be on the MacArthur Museum of Arkansas Military History.
Now, you've been to this place.
Yes, I have been to it. So I went once in 2015. It was a friend's birthday, and I don't know how they managed to do it.
Didn't they know somebody who worked there or something?
Because it was a friend who wasn't originally from here. She was from Wisconsin, and her family came down. And I think the mom had booked this experience, but we did a paranormal investigation, like a legitimate one. And I was going to touch base on it towards the end, but what I remember, and I wish I had, because we did recorders, we did EVPs, we did all of that, and I wish I had the footage. But all I remember is me and the girl I was with going into the tower, and we were sitting at the stairs.
Do they still do ghost tours of this place?
Yes and no. I can't find the company we went with anymore, but I do know that it's still a thing. And they actually host, do you remember me tagging you and your dad in the Paranormal Expo?
Yeah.
They host it there. But I remember, and we can touch base on what I heard in just a second.
Yes.
But I remember hearing the words from a man saying general and home.
Like you physically, like you heard it. It
Yes.
wasn't through like an EVP.
Yes,
You
we physically heard general and
like
home.
Oh, wait, general and what?
Home.
Home. Oh.
And it
Makes
was
me
a
kinda
male's voice. The MacArthur Museum of Arkansas Military History, which is a tongue twister in its own kind of name, was created to interpret the story of the state's military heritage from its territorial period to present time. It is located in the historic tower building of the Arkansas Little Rock Arsenal, which is the birthplace of General Douglas MacArthur.
Oh. I'm curious if MacArthur, if that's why MacArthur's name is like around Arkansas a lot.
And MacArthur Park.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that makes sense. More you know.
The museum preserves the contributions of the Arkansas men and women who served in the armed forces. Exhibits feature artifacts, photographs, weapons, documents, uniform, and other military items that vividly portray Arkansas's military history at home and abroad. The Arsenal building that it is in was erected in 1840 and was once a part of a major military installation just south of downtown Little Rock. The property was given to the city in 1982, and all of the other buildings of the arsenal were removed or destroyed, creating the land that we know as the city park.
Oh, okay.
And the Aesthetic Club made the building its meeting site in 1894, which I looked that up because I was like, what the fuck is the Aesthetics Club?
Yeah.
It was basically a women's club for like high women of society.
Okay.
Yeah. After this, the Museum of Natural History and Antiquities, which later becomes the Museum of Discovery, was housed in this building.
Okay.
It was housed from 1943 until 1997. And then it went to the Museum of Discovery, which we have also been to. We frequent quite a bit. I love that place. After this, the building was renovated and reopened in 2001. Permanent exhibits in the museum include Civil War exhibits, such as a room dedicated to the Camden expedition and another to the Confederate spy David O'Dodd, a 1944 Jeep from World War II, and documents and photographs from the war. And it's like a whole Jeep.
Oh, there's a whole Jeep inside
There is a
this
whole
building?
Jeep inside the building.
Okay, I need to go see the Jeep.
It's free to go. And I think they're open 7 days a week.
We're going to have to go check this place out.
I'm down for that. Like other military forts, the old arsenal building and the land it sits on seems to attract eternal career soldiers and the spirits of people tied to these places, who perhaps met their end there. Accidents, suicides, disease, battles, and execution or death by unknown causes have taken the lives of military soldiers, personnel, and civilians alike in this area. Some of these accidents can include munitions and cannonballs. They were known to blow up in the arsenal storage facility.
Oh.
There was a duel between two soldiers that took place in the basement underneath the stair area. And there was a Civil War battle because when they were changing the sides from the Union to the Confederate in 1861, it happened because of a peaceful compromise. And in 1863, the battle for the city of Little Rock was a fierce fight, resulting in casualties. Soldiers had lost their lives defending this installation and the city of Little Rock, as so did the Union soldiers.
Oh.
Now, we talked a little bit about the Confederate spy, Dave O'Dodd, and there's a whole exhibit to him, but this is his story. He was martyred after a botched execution. Torturous, brutal deaths often led to hauntings. 3 months after the Union forces had taken Little Rock, 17-year-old Dodd was caught in a Union soldier checkpoint with sensitive military information about the Union forces.
He was so young.
Written in Morse code. Though offered a plea bargain if he revealed the names of those who gave him this information, David refused. In a military court, he was given a 4-day trial, convicted of spying for the Confederacy, and received a death sentence by hanging. On January 8th, 1864, gallows were in place just east of the old Arsenal building, guarded by a large group of soldiers to stop any possible rescue efforts. 6,000 citizens came to watch. David was brought to the gallows in a large wagon made to step off the tailgate with the noose around his neck. Because of the incompetence of the living, he didn't fall from a high enough stage or fast enough to snap his neck.
Oh, God.
Because the tailgate was too low to the ground, David suffered a slow death by strangulation, to the horror of both sides of the soldiers and the audience, despite an effort by a soldier to lift the rope up to try to speed up the execution. David was quickly and quietly buried at Mount Holly Cemetery. A memorial is now dedicated to him, and a stained glass window was made in his honor, which now hangs in the museum.
Wait, what was his name?
David O'Dodd.
Oh, Dodd. We didn't get that name at all on the on the Spirit Talker.
We also didn't see it, but we didn't really explore the whole.
Well, now that we know he's over there. Wow. I hope all 6,000 of those people were traumatized.
I'm sure they were.
Because instead of first of all, I would not want to go watch an execution of somebody. That's just sick. But then also just going and then it not going the way that it's supposed to be and just like instant. I hope all of them were traumatized.
Some of the hauntings that you may experience in the military museum are disembodied voices, talking, music has been heard by the living who work in the building and who visit the displays. In 1996, an employee was sitting in her office in the basement when she heard the sounds of music, laughter, and talking coming from the room above her, which was the largest room on the east side of the ground floor. She went up to see and saw and heard nothing. When she returned to her office, the same sounds were present again. The second floor of the lower tower was turned into a theater. While closing up for the night, another employee saw a solid body of a man dressed in a dark uniform lying across the chairs.
It's just taking a little rest.
Right.
It's hard being a ghost.
She ran down to get another person to help what she thought was a transcendent to get out of the building.
Oh, did she think it was like a homeless person?
I think so, yeah. When the second person tried to touch the body, which had turned around, it melted into the air, probably encouraging a hasty retreat by both employees.
Yeah.
On occasion, see-through apparitions have been observed walking down the stairs to the ground floor, going about their business. A playful entity, perhaps that of David, likes to throw things at people, just missing them. He's
like, I could hit you if I could. Mm-hmm. Or I could hit you, but
I won't, yeah. The unsuspecting people walking down the right-hand staircase to the third and second floor. If this person stops immediately and looks over their shoulder, oftentimes he or she will see a shadow of an object flying by as the unseen presence at the top of the stairs is throwing something for chuckles.
At least he's got a sense of humor.
Right. Two shadow people have also been seen in the area under the grand staircase, still reliving their duel. Oh. Every year, there is now a paranormal expo where people gather to talk about all things spooky, including cryptids. Bigfoot is a big part of this expo.
Okay, so we need to go to this next time.
It's usually in October.
Okay, we're going to have to talk to Dad, and we're going to have to actually go to this thing, because that sounds like it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and that is the military museum. And it's not.
Dang.
It's not a very big museum either.
No.
Like we've been to the outside of it. We've taken pictures over in that area.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish I could remember more, but it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's quite a long time ago. Dang. Yeah, I want to go check that place out. I want to try to go talk to David. Go speak to David. Also, now I want to go back to the cemetery so that way we can see if we can find his tombstone. We probably saw it and didn't even realize.
Probably. He was probably one of the big ones with portraits.
Probably. It's to be 17.
Or he was in a mausoleum. He's probably in a mausoleum.
He might be in a mausoleum. Honestly, if we looked it up, it'd probably show what his tombstone looked like.
Probably.
Okay. So, my next one is going to be the Basin Park Hotel. So this is a place I have not been to before. I would also love to go check this place out. It's very much kind of like the Crescent Hotel. It's in the same area. Yeah. It's in Eureka Springs.
Not very far from each other either.
No.
I think
Brenna and her mom have been to it.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure.
They've stayed in it,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Or at least Lisa has stayed in it.
I think they've done spa days there too.
They have, yeah. Have you seen the hotel?
I've been past it.
Beautiful. If anybody has not been to Eureka Springs in itself in Arkansas, I would highly suggest going.
100%.
A beautiful town. Beautiful.
I want to go to the dinosaur park.
Yeah. Oh, is that in Eureka Springs? Oh, I did not know. Okay, we're just going to have a girls' trip to Eureka Springs then.
It's abandoned.
We are going to become the Sam and Colby of Arkansas, huh? Heck yeah. Okay, we need to start making a list of places that we're going to go and check out and then make videos while we're there.
I'm so down. Let me get a hold of the Osmo Pocket too. I'm telling you.
I was just thinking, I was like, we need to get that little camera. All right. So, perched on the limestone bluffs overlooking the historic town of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, the Basin Park Hotel stands as more than just a charming relic of a bygone era. While its vibrant yellow facade and vintage aesthetic draws visitors seeking a taste of history, many come from an entirely different reason: the whispers of the past that still seem to linger in the halls. Known as one of the most haunted hotels in Arkansas, the Basin Park Hotel has become a hotspot for ghost hunters, curious tourists, and skeptics hoping to find or disprove the supernatural stories tied to its walls. The hotel's reputation for paranormal activity isn't rooted in hearsay alone. Staff, guests, and paranormal investigators alike have reported chilling encounters, unexplained phenomena, and photographic evidence suggesting that some former residents never truly checked out. From shadowy figures and ghostly orbs to chilling encounters that leave physical marks, the stories surrounding the Basin Park Hotel are as vivid as they are unsettling. So, a little bit of history of the Basin Park Hotel. It begins in 1905 when it was constructed to accommodate the growing number of tourists flocking to Eureka Springs for its famous healing waters, much like the Crescent Hotel. The original Basin Spring, located just steps from the hotel, was believed to have curative properties, drawing visitors from across the country. The hotel quickly became a centerpiece of the bustling town, offering luxury accommodations for those seeking rest and rejuvenation. So I'm guessing the springs were a little bit closer to the Basin Park Hotel than it was
The Crescent.
The Crescent. Yeah. So much like the Crescent Hotel, the Basin Park evolved with the changing times. During Prohibition, it became a popular gathering place for those seeking more illicit forms of entertainment. The hotel's secluded location and maze-like structure made it ideal for bootleggers, gamblers, and gangsters looking to escape the watchful eyes of the law. Secret passageways, hidden rooms, and the ever-present buzz of clandestine activity gave the hotel an air of mystery long before the first ghost stories emerged. I really want to go check out this hotel now, because I'm just imagining this place in my head, and it just, I don't know, it
gives
seems really like almost castle-like.
Have you ever seen Ghost Ship?
No.
Okay, well that's a horror movie.
No, maybe?
The first scene of the movie is everybody getting chopped in half.
Okay, no.
Okay, well, we're going to have to watch that horror movie because it's
oh my God.
One of the best ones ever. Opening scene, hands down, makes it the best. Anyway.
Everybody getting chopped in half?
Yeah, so this is a little bit of a tangent. But basically, they're on like a cruise ship.
Yeah.
And they're having like a ball out on the open deck, and something happens, and one of the wires that like has like the flags or whatever snaps.
Oh God.
And it's one of those like really thick like cables, and it comes across the ship, and it literally, because it's such a thick wire going at such a high speed, chops all of the adults in half. And there's a little girl that was dancing with the captain of the ship, and he like was trying to like protect her. So when she finally like breaks free of him and stuff like that, he falls, and then she runs, and everybody they're just dead, blood and body parts everywhere. It's beautiful. But in my sorry, in my head, I was imagining
It's beautiful.
body parts, blood everywhere. In my head, I was imagining like that elegance before the trauma. Okay.
Blood, body parts everywhere. Beautiful.
Do you have plans? We should watch that movie this afternoon.
Oh my God. I don't know if I want to now.
It's really not bad.
Oh.
That's the worst part, I promise. I have problems, don't I?
We all do. It's okay. It's fine. We just have different problems. It's fine. Beautiful. Dismembered bodies. Beautiful.
I was really invested in my story.
Yeah, you were.
And you were just looking at me like I needed to be in a mental institution.
No, because if you go into one, I'd be there right along with you.
That's very true.
So,
I wonder
That's
if they
fine.
would let us share a room.
yeah, I feel like as long as we're not trying to kill each other, it would be fine.
Either that or they're like, no, these bitches are going to feed off of each other in their Delulu. We need to keep them separated.
We figure out a way how to communicate.
I'm sorry. Please continue on with your story.
You're okay. All right. So, it is said a lot of guests fell ill, accidents happened, and some lives ended within the walls of the grand establishment. As with many historic buildings, the accumulation of history, both joyous and sorrowful, seems to have left an imprint on the very foundation of the hotel. I want to dive more into that because I want to know more about the whole, like, with there being such energy, it like leaves imprints on everything, like residual energy. I want to look more into that because I find that very fascinating. So today the Basin Park Hotel embraces its haunted reputation, offering ghost tours and paranormal investigations for those brave enough to explore the unknown. So there has been some pretty chilling encounters, and some of them being orbs and shadows in the Barefoot Ballroom. So it says one of the most frequently reported phenomena in the Basin Park Hotel occurs in the iconic Barefoot Ballroom, a space known for hosting celebrations, performances, and social gatherings. While the room itself exudes vintage charm, it also appears to be a focal point for supernatural activity. I love the vintage architecture and buildings. Like, I want to go see this hotel so bad.
Let's go.
I know. Guests and staff have reported seeing orbs flying through the air, often appearing in photographs taken during events. These orbs, typically described as soft glowing spheres of light, are commonly associated with paranormal activity. Have you ever seen an orb in person?
I don't think so.
I've only ever seen one at my parents' house. It is weird. It's weird. It's pretty cool, but it's weird. It literally just looks like a ball of light, like a ball of light energy. Because I saw it from like the window and it went up into the crawl space of my parents' house. It's weird. So a lot of skeptics attribute them to dust or reflections. Explain that to me seeing that in person and not on a video or a photo. So I don't think that was dust. Yet those who have witnessed the orbs firsthand insist there's something more to them, especially when they move with deliberate intention. Alongside the orbs, shadowy figures have been spotted darting across the room's edges. These human-shaped shadows often appear in peripheral vision, only to vanish when directly observed. Dude, I see freaking shadows out of the corner of my eye all the time.
Yeah, those I see.
All the time.
I was having when we went to the Goodwill bins, I was having a moment. Now, of course, later on we did discover that there was an animal. But I kept seeing...
Do you know what it was? Was it like a rat or a mouse or something?
I don't know. All I know is I saw like dark fur out of the corner of my eye.
And you're like, I know I'm seeing something. I'm not tripping.
I know I'm seeing something. I couldn't tell what it was. I could never actually catch it.
And then we see the lady running after it with a basket.
And they're like, get it. The
poor old lady was just like, with the basket trying to capture this thing.
And I'm like, okay, I wasn't crazy.
Oh, God. Everybody just stopped and like started recording. I'm like, oh, my God, this poor little animal's probably so stressed out. Like, what the fuck? I'm just trying to come in here and get some clothes, too. Poor baby. I wish I knew what it was. So paranormal investigators have attempted to debunk the sightings, but the reoccurring reports from unrelated guests make the claims difficult to dismiss entirely. There's been reported faces in the stained glass windows. Another chilling mystery revolves around the stained glass windows in the foyer of the Barefoot Ballroom. According to reports, large, distinct faces have been seen appearing on the inside of the glass, faces that don't match any known guests or staff. These aberrations tend to manifest without warning, often during the quiet hours when the hotel is less crowded. Some witnesses describe the faces as expressionless, while others claim to have seen faint smiles or sorrowful gazes. Attempts to capture these images on camera have been met with mixed results, with some photos showing anomalies while others reveal nothing unusual. The tour guide's terrifying encounter. Perhaps one of the most alarming incidents occurs during a private paranormal investigation led by one of the hotel's experienced tour guides. While exploring the Barefoot Ballroom with a small group, the guide suddenly began coughing and clutching his throat. Witnesses watched in horror as red marks resembling handprints started to appear around his neck, as though someone or something was trying to choke him. No.
I couldn't imagine.
What did you do to upset the ghosts? The group immediately stopped the investigation, as they should have, and the guide was escorted out of the room. The marks faded within hours, but the psychological impact lingered far longer.
Yeah, no, that's gonna leave.
If I was being strangled by something I could not see, I'd be, oh my gosh. The guide, who had previously considered himself a skeptic, now avoids the ballroom after dark, unwilling to risk another encounter with the unseen force.
I don't doubt it. I wouldn't.
I don't either. So there has also been photographic evidence and childlike apparitions. Among the most compelling pieces of evidence comes from a bartender at the hotel who shared a series of photographs reportedly capturing ghostly figures. In one particularly striking image, the faint outline of a small child can be seen standing in the hallway, a hallway where no children were present at the time. This apparition has been linked to numerous guest experiences. Visitors often report feeling a light tug on their clothing while walking through the same corridor. Some have even heard faint giggles, only to find the hallway empty upon investigation. While the identity of the child remains unknown, the consistency of these reports suggests that someone or something continues to roam the hotel's upper floors. I feel like there's always a child.
Always.
Always a child ghost. The Crescent Hotel has a kid, but that one was known because she actually, or there's two at the Crescent Hotel. What?
Sorry, I'm on one today apparently. I was just listening to the difference between like you and then like hearing you in here because I was having trouble and I was like, I don't hear you anymore. But then I took it off and I could definitely hear the difference and it was just really throwing me out of it.
Well, that's why I thought like I wasn't actually coming through the headphones because first of all, I'm myself and I'm speaking and like I can tell whenever I put the headset on that I don't know, but it's hard for me to tell because it's my own voice.
I'm just really fucking tired today because...
Oh, yeah. You and me both.
It's...
Don't think too much on it.
I'm feeling some type of way today.
It's okay.
This is giving deja vu again.
It's okay. I'm
Only
sure it's
this
fine.
time I'm not incapacitated.
Wait, what?
The party, I was having deja vu.
You were also crossfaded as fuck.
I just said I wasn't incapacitated. Or I'm not incapacitated.
Are you sure? Do they put something in your coffee?
I don't know.
Think? No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. We're really tired. Really
It was
tired.
a long work 2 weeks.
And even on the days off, we had stuff we were doing. And so it just feels like we have yet to have like a full rest day. And even today being our day off, we're recording the podcast, which we love doing. But it's still just stuff that we have to do.
I'm just out of it today.
Well, the good thing is after we're done with this, we get to just relax.
I have laundry.
Okay, but you can just throw the laundry in and then go lay down while it's doing
No,
this
you
thing.
don't understand. There's a giant...
Oh, no, I completely understand.
There's a
whole
giant
ass pile in my room.
Well, everything is clean. It's been in a pile for like 2 weeks now.
No, I know.
And
I will send you a picture when I get back to my apartment. You know how I am with laundry.
I need to clean it. It's
Like, the bed is halfway covered with Steven's clothes. I have a whole ass pile in the corner blocking my mirror in the room. Like, it's all clean. I just can't be bothered. I will literally... Dishes and clothes. I loathe entirely. I hate doing them. I will literally go pick up what I want out of the pile to wear, toss it on the de-wrinkle cycle in the freaking dryer, and then put it on
you
and go.
do more than me. I just put it on.
I can't stand wrinkled clothes on myself. Like, wrinkled clothes, hair, and then if they smell. Like, I can't. But I also don't like wrinkles, but then I don't put my clothes up so they get wrinkled. So, anyway, long tangent. She's like, I'm gonna fall asleep if you keep fucking talking.
I'm just here.
So,
I'm gonna drink my coffee.
yep. Okay, so just a little bit more. Today, the Basin Park Hotel embraces its haunted reputation, offering ghost tours that guide visitors through the building's most paranormally active areas. The tours blend historical facts with first-hand accounts of the supernatural encounters, allowing guests to experience the hotel's eerie charm for themselves. So, despite the chilling stories that the hotel remains a beloved destination for travelers seeking a unique blend of history, luxury, and the unexplained. Many guests leave with nothing more than fond memories and scenic photographs, while others depart with stories they'll never forget. So whenever I was reading it, it says for any skeptics who want to go and visit the Basin Park Hotel, just spend a night in room 310. Or a quiet moment in the barefoot ballroom might just change your mind on being a skeptic. So what I'm seeing is you and I need to stay in room 310.
Let's do it.
So I don't know. I just, even though I know it's haunted, I feel like just going to the hotel would be
Here's what we
beautiful.
do. We stay at the Basin. We ghost tour at the Crescent.
Yeah. You know we're going to have to do a ghost tour at the
Or we do
Basin.
a split. We do like maybe one night at the Basin, one night at the Crescent.
You know, we could possibly ask the Basin Hotel, because I feel like we'll be a little bit further along in the podcast by then, and be like, hey, we have a paranormal podcast. Do you mind like later on tonight if we could go and like explore around and, you know, get footage and stuff like that? They
as
probably
long as we're
wouldn't mind.
not like disrupting other patrons and stuff like that.
Yeah. I feel like they'd be okay with
probably.
that. Yeah. Something to think about. I would like to start doing more of that too.
I would as well.
So,
yeehaw, howdy, partner. My last one is the Empress.
Ooh. This place is beautiful.
Yes.
It's an Airbnb?
Airbnb or bed and breakfast.
Is this in Little Rock?
Yeah.
Oh.
In fact, we've driven past it when we go downtown.
I don't pay attention.
There are also some names that I can't pronounce here, so I'm just going to like skate by them a bit.
Is there first names you can pronounce?
Yeah. First names I can pronounce. Last names, not so much. So this is about the Empress, and this is also going to tie into, so I'm not going to lie, I did kind of minimal research for the museum. I did like history of the museum, and then like I was just like the David Dodd story. I kind of just copy pasted that because I wanted to read it, and I didn't actually read it. So I did not know he was buried in Mount Holly.
Yeah.
This is the story I was talking about with Mount Holly.
Oh shit! So there's two people
from my.
Well, because low-key when you were reading that, I'm like, oh shit! Now we're going out of order.
Yeah.
But okay. So.
Yeah, this is the one that I was referring to.
Okay, well that's cool. Now there's two people we gotta go look for about Holly.
I think this is Hornibrook.
Can I see? It's Hornibrook.
I'm too childish for this. The Hornibrook Mansion was designed by Max and Casper, and it was completed using only what?
It's a haunted bed and breakfast, and it was created by Casper.
Casper with a K, though.
But still Casper.
I didn't notice that earlier.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Proceed.
It was completed using only Arkansas materials in 1888 for only $20,000.
1888.
1888.
888.
888.
You just made the realization, didn't you?
Wow.
Rub it off on you.
Stop it. The National Register of Historic Places has described this building as the best example of ornate Victorian architecture in Arkansas and the most important existing example of Gothic Queen Anne style.
As you're reading that, I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
Wait, what's it?
Well, the Empress is what you're gonna. Yeah. It features a divided stairway, 3.5-story corner tower, stained glass skylight, and an octagonal shaped room.
God, this place is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
And you can stay there, but wait, there's more. Following the Civil War, James Hornibrook moved from Toronto and established a profitable business as a saloon keeper. He was shunned from proper Scotch Street society because of this. He waited until his only competitor completed his home and then proceeded to build something more extravagant, which is petty if I never heard about something petty.
Yeah.
Legends say that he kept a card game going in the tower room where he could watch for raids on his establishment. He died of a stroke at the front gate of his manor shortly after it was finished, at only 49 years old.
Oof.
He anticipated his death and had a death mask of Italian marble designed while on a trip in Italy.
A what?
Death mask.
What the fuck is that?
I believe just a mask you put on when you die so that they don't see your face.
Made out of marble?
Made out of marble.
That's going to be heavy.
This mask now hangs in the home. He is currently buried in Mount Holly Cemetery. His eternal resting place is Mount Holly. His wife died 2 years later, presumably from a broken heart.
Oh, that's sad.
In 1897, the mansion became the Arkansas Women's College, the state's very first. So I'm pretty sure Crescent became one.
Yeah.
Between the Depression and the early 1940s, it remained vacant, and then in 1948, it became a nursing home. It was a private residence and apartments until 1940.
Oh, it was apartments?
Yeah. Until 1994.
Okay.
I don't numbers are not numbering today.
Which is slightly sleep
Um,
deprived. It's okay.
In 1994, it was restored and then renamed the Empress. It is currently a tourist spot and a bed and breakfast. It is also up for sale for a whopping $1,799,000.
Damn.
Its current owner believes that the man came to him, the original owner of the home, and pleaded for him to renovate this hotel to its former glory. As he was contemplating doing some renovations, he got a bit of movement in the hall to his right. As he turned his head to focus on the distraction, he caught the apparition of a man slowly descending the stairs. The apparition was wearing a nice hat, a very sleek and elegant suit, and as he turned, he looked at the new owner as if to say, "Save this house."
Oh.
His wife saw the same apparition and the exact same look. The owner's wife has also experienced cold spots and has felt chills inside the home even with the heat on. It is said that one of the ghosts who resides there is a former maid who workers will see sometimes in a spot standing quietly in rooms on the second floor, and then she will disappear into the closets. There is also a ghost of a man in an old-fashioned captain's outfit standing inside. Guests have reported hearing footsteps coming from empty halls, sounds of people talking in rooms that were completely vacant, and a few notable rooms, such as the turret room, has had reports of laughing and party sounds coming from it.
Oh.
It's reported that cards have been played and found scattered across the floor in this room as well, which legend said that the owner would often have card games
Up in the
tower room so he
Yeah.
could see if there were going to be any raids.
Yeah. So that makes sense. That checks out.
It's reported that one of the second owners, a U.S. Marshal, still hangs out in the location. He has been reported being seen on the stairs, and other hauntings include reports of furniture being dragged across the upstairs floor, footsteps upstairs, a black mass floating around, and in the original owner's master suite, there is a fireplace that will reportedly light up on its own.
Oh, that's scary. Oh, no.
People have seen a gentleman on the stair who will smile and nod. Even though this place has been reported with hauntings, none of them have ever been sinister in nature, and the current occupants live with the deceased as they are pleased with the current restorations of the home.
Oh.
And that's basically it.
So why are they selling it?
I don't know. It could also be that it's just not profitable anymore.
That's true. But at the same time, like, I'd be scared to sell it and then all of a sudden, like, whoever buys it.
They might have stipulations that it has to
Still
maintain.
Yeah.
Because, like, they meticulously bought furnishings and everything to match the time period of the home.
Yeah, whenever I was going through the photos, and we'll pop some photos up in the video for those who are watching via video. It's beautiful.
Yeah, so it could be that that's a stipulation. I really wish we had the money. Because I'd be
Honestly.
like,
I'd be buying a bed and breakfast. Heck
turn
yeah.
it into besties.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And that is the Empress.
Well, speaking of Mount Holly Cemetery, we actually just recently went there this past Thursday, and we were taking photos for our rebrand, and now we're going to have to go back because there was two people that we talked about now that are actually buried over there that we did not know at the time.
David O'Dodd and
Yep.
James Hornibrook.
And the cemetery itself is absolutely beautiful. It's not in the best area of Little Rock, but the cemetery itself is absolutely gorgeous. We had no bad vibes from that cemetery whatsoever. Felt
And it's
very
not
peaceful there, actually.
It's not the first time I've been either, and neither time I've been have felt ominous. It's always felt very peaceful, very safe, even though it's not in the best place.
Yeah. So, Mount Holly Cemetery is a 4-square block area in the heart of the city of Little Rock, the final resting place of many important Arkansans. As a result of this, the cemetery has earned the nickname the Westminster Abbey of Arkansas. Besides Confederate boy martyr David Owen Dodd, which is who you were talking about, being buried there, it is the final resting place for 11 state governors, 13 state Supreme Court justices, 4 Confederate generals, 22 Little Rock mayors, and an innumerable newspaper editors, military heroes, doctors, attorneys, and prominent families.
Oh, you know what's crazy is General Douglas is probably there.
Probably. Yeah. It is a well landscaped with flowering plants, mature trees, berry bushes, and honeysuckle, which we saw a lot of that whenever we were there. Stuff is just now starting to bloom, and I would love to go back when it actually like all becomes in bloom. There's a beautiful fountain surrounded by a circular brick walk. The bell house was added during the late 19th century, which I think might be that little house that you and I saw. Lovely, sometimes grand grave markers, headstones, and well-crafted statues of angels and children can all be found here. On David Owen Dodd's grave, an 8-foot obelisk was added in 1913, honoring him for his courage in not betraying the Confederate cause. So we probably did see his.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it now because we saw a lot of those. So
the really tall ones. There are some tall monuments in that cemetery, like 8 to 12 feet tall. And not to mention the mausoleums, too.
Those are so beautiful.
Beautiful.
I love this.
We can pop in some photos of what we took there and then some that we can find online as well. The cemetery is well cared for, showing respect for the departed, even those who don't have any living descendants. This is made possible because members of the public have voluntarily adopted many graves, donating money through a small maintenance levy tax. Memorials... Words are fucking hard, dude.
It just hits you randomly.
It does. Memorials and donations are also made to the Mount Holly Cemetery Association. So we can attest to that because as we were there, there was a group of people there actually maintaining the cleaning up and, I almost said vacuuming.
Tidying up the land.
Raking and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Planting new flowers.
Yeah. Vacuuming. Oh my God. Hey, it's like whenever I was vacuuming the lawn for Gish. Yeah, that's funny. So Mount Holly is the second oldest cemetery in Arkansas. In 1843, Roswell Beebe and Senator Chester Ashley donated the land to the city for a new cemetery.
That's why we saw Ashley so
many
much.
Ashleys. Yeah, there was a whole like gated section that all the last names were Ashleys, and I was just like, oh my God, I don't know what this means. It is well loved and treasured by Little Rock citizens and government alike. Every October, drama students from Parkview Arts and Science Magnet High School research various famous or important departed individuals dressed in period clothes and tell groups led by a guide with candle about their stories.
Oh,
That's
probably
interesting.
So in elementary school, we did a wax museum where we researched historic people. I was Harriet Tubman.
Was that choice of your own?
I don't really remember. It was in elementary school. I do remember you had a little thing around your neck and they had a button that they had to press and then you would start your like spiel. Cause I remember like mine was like, yeah. That's neat. I would like to see that. We're not going to talk about my elementary school trauma right now.
You're going to have to tell me about that later. So, though the cemetery is lovely and peaceful to the living, the joint is jumping with paranormal activity. When Mount Holly was established, many remains from other graveyards and perhaps private home estates were moved here throughout the 1800s. Disturbing graves can reawaken spirits, sometimes confusing them or making them restless, which is probably what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So... some activity that has happened there is Mount Holly Cemetery is known as an active place for paranormal phenomena. Statues on the graves have been reported by witnesses to move, directly witnessed by the living, right in front of them. Pictures suggest that this is true. Some statues are even found on the lawns of some startled neighbors on occasion as if they went for a stroll. There was one that I read that I told you about. This lady had went outside, who lives in this general area, saw a 12-foot tall statue, or it was a... what is it? Headstone. Some sort of stone from over at the cemetery. 12 foot tall in her lawn. And she went inside to go grab somebody to have them come out and check it out. And as soon as they came back out, it was gone. And she went to the cemetery to go try to find it. And they found it in the cemetery. Back where it was supposed to be.
Could you imagine just...
No.
I'm going to go out to my front yard.
A 12-foot tall stone just sitting in your freaking yard.
I'd be like, listen, I know you need to stretch your legs,
I'd be like,
but I need you to do that.
I'd be like, they done did it again.
I need you to do that in your space.
Go take a stroll around the cemetery.
Like,
please.
take a wrap around in the cemetery.
Wrap around.
But please do not step on my lawn. You're going to ruin my flowers that I already can't keep alive.
You're right. So, There's also been a mysterious flute music is heard floating throughout the grounds by witnesses where actual living flute players aren't anywhere nearby. We didn't hear any of that.
No.
That'd be cool if we did, though. Also, there has been pictures taken at the cemetery, snapshots of see-through images of people dressed in 19th century clothing, apparitions, and ghostly lights have been captured on film. Eyewitnesses have also seen the above manifestations of paranormal when visiting the cemetery at night and during the day as well. We didn't see anything. I went through my photos and I was even hoping to have caught something in the photos. Didn't catch anything in the photos.
Well, I think also we should go back when we're not taking photos of us.
And just take photos of the actual cemetery. Now, I will end this off on whenever her and I were there, we had my phone on a spirit talker. And a part of me, whenever I first got this app, I'm like, okay, I don't really know if I believe in this or not, just because it could just pull up just random sayings that they would think would go with any sort of investigation that you would be doing. However, and we have photo and video proof of this that we will pop in here. I had it going as we were taking photos of ourselves, so I wasn't constantly watching it, and it doesn't speak it out loud, so you have to look at it to see what it says, and it'll say like words or like little sayings or whatever. And 2 words down, it had the name Thompson, and I was reading them out to Denisha so that way she could, you know, hear what it had on there as well. And we didn't move. I looked up, and right in front of us was a gravestone with the name Thompson.
And I would just like to clarify, because Chris pointed this out whenever I was talking to him about it, because he was like, well, what if it just turns on the camera?
That's what my dad said too.
Was pointed down at the ground. It would have had no way to see the gravestones.
Either I was holding it down. I never had it up. I was holding it down, or it was resting on the ground. There would have been no way that it would have seen the headstone, because also if I did that, I would feel like it would have seen other names of the headstones, which it gave us other names. However, all the names were like older names, but we couldn't find any of the gravestones. But it was just so weird, the timing of that, where I saw the name Thompson, told Denisha, looked up, and literally right in front of us was the headstone. And the only thing on that side of the headstone was the name Thompson.
And it wasn't like, it was like 2 headstones behind another one that we weren't. It was the first one right in front of us.
And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, okay, well, apparently this is something real. But I mean, we didn't get any bad vibes from it or anything. No. It was crazy. I was like, holy shit, like Thompson. But anyway, but yeah, so that was really cool. And that is some places in Arkansas that are haunted. And if you guys currently live in Arkansas and want to go check out those places, I highly advise to do so, because they're all very beautiful places. Lots of history, lots of spooky things.
Also, if you know any other places that we did not touch on that you would like us to talk about, please comment, shoot us an email.
Give us some suggestions.
Even if you're not from Arkansas and you live in another state or part of the country or another part of the world and you know haunted places, let us know. We'll research them and they might be featured in a video.
Yep, absolutely. And we do have a new email that you guys can send those to, or even just commenting on the video is fine. What is the new email?
The Afterlife Hotline at gmail.com.
Yep. So
also, you can find us on all social medias except for Facebook, because it hasn't let me change it yet, at the Afterlife Hotline.
Yes.
So it's all one word, no
Instagram,
underscores,
TikTok, YouTube,
like
Spotify, all the things. But yeah, so
that is episode 9.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Stay spooky.
Stay curious.
And pick up the phone.
Yeah.
The afterlife is calling.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next time.